Hi guys, good morning. As I sit here doing my morning writing, I check my messages and check different things. And of course, the haters are on there this morning talking about blame, how I'm blaming people, blaming. So we'll talk about blaming because I think it fits into grooming because at a young age, I was blamed for everything. I mean, you're always part of the grooming is to be convinced that you're at fault. There's something wrong with you. Things aren't a big deal. You're making too much of it. You're too sensitive. You can't take a joke. You misinterpret it. It's all in your head. I don't know what your problem is. Why can't you get along with everybody? So I heard this throughout my childhood from my cousins predominantly because we would play together. And this was going on around me all the time. And certainly it was threaded with the spiritual abuse. Jehovah doesn't like this. Jehovah doesn't like that. And currently, Jehovah doesn't like yoga. It's satanic, but child abuse isn't something we talk about. Giving out a little candy on Halloween is satanic, but child abuse isn't something we talk about. Getting education is satanic, but educating yourself about sex abuse, prostitution, trafficking, grooming, pornography, these sorts of things to have some education about, they don't want you to have. And this was throughout my childhood. This sort of like, watch this area while this area continues to abuse you. And I would get lectures all the time because my half family were Jehovah's Witnesses. I've had Bible studies. They followed me down to college, tried to get me thrown out of college. The pressure was so bad, I finally asked the woman to leave because I wasn't going to leave college. And thank God I didn't, because getting a college education was one of the most important things I did for myself. And certainly, if you do want to be educated about some of this stuff, it's the ongoing violence towards you when you do. This harassment followed me at college. It's followed me from my half family, who is really never family, and they continue to do this chaos and violence in my life because they enjoy it. Some people are attracted to this kind of mobbing and harassment and partying and having a good old time. And certainly these people were very promiscuous, sexually inappropriate, out, doing drugs, selling drugs. But certainly, when you're introduced to older men, older guys, but certainly going around telling everybody how religious they are. And certainly my cousins were like this. I go over there in the little Instamatic cameras that we had back in the 70s, trying to get me to do poses that were inappropriate, or trying to catch me in some sort of humiliating pose, or trying to, do ugly shots of me. For a long time, I didn't really think I could take a good picture. It's kind of funny when you're involved with photography and you don't quite think, that you're the subject. So I really didn't do people. I got out of college. I worked in a studio for a little while and did portraiture, but it wasn't something that I really wasn't called to. I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, I was very good at it. All my packages sold. But the deeper exploration of photography was what I wanted to explore, something in a little bit of a different direction. So of course this morphed into, I got pictures of you. There were no pictures because I didn't let it go that far. And it was because of my grandmother's, tutelage and guidance and, talking about what was going on, to have that in my life. Alice Miller calls it the silent witness, somebody that tells you, no, that isn't appropriate, that's not a good idea, because you would tend to just take it as the norm. And that's part of what the grooming is, to normalize some of this stuff, to say it's okay. And that went on throughout my childhood. It's just getting fresh. I told people at various points throughout my childhood and into my marriage about being molested, about these inappropriate relationships with family members, half family members, I didn't have a word for it, but the different types of grooming that went on. I certainly had these long conversations with my ex-husband. I certainly had them with my mother, and I certainly had them with my cousins. That continue to this day, causing trouble with their friends, with my half family, and it just keeps escalating because now certainly there are, people that go around and say they're doctors in the half family. So of course they have power at the hospital to make up stuff. They have power at the police station, and they have power in other areas with our court system. They're cronies to make up things about you and continue to hide these types of abuses within my family, and certainly with other people. And you certainly see that with my half brother. If some of you are familiar, he's been on my page making some pretty disgusting remarks. He does have special needs, and it's pretty repugnant that my ex-sister-in-law is a special needs teacher, and this is the type of education that's going on in our schools. So I will continue to talk about some of these things as much as I can. I'm, moving within the next week or so hopefully that'll go okay, because once again, this type of harassment and abuse continues. And we need more people with their lived experience and talking and legislation and prosecution and all the things surrounding this, because these people work all the time very diligently to keep these things secret, to keep these things so we don't talk about. I certainly now at midlife would have went quietly. I wanted my home, which was certainly not unreasonable, my dog, my assets, my career, and these people came through and savagely ripped everything apart. Went into the court system, made horrible lies. My mother was certainly involved. She was having an inappropriate relationship with an ex-husband. That's been repeated throughout my life because these people are connected to a swingers club. So the inappropriateness with her boyfriends, with this half family, caused major splits within the family. So we will continue to talk about these blended families and the damage and the just the awful way that if you're not in the clique, even within your own family, you can find yourself targeted with this kind of violence throughout your life, and it doesn't get better. They're saying with pedophiles, there's not any rehabilitation. And some of these people certainly should have had an intervention a long time ago. I certainly, with my sister-in-law, when she passed away, they attacked her repeatedly. Certainly if she would have had help then, what she was trying to get, it would have benefited me also, because they went after her assets. She ended up passing away at 37 years old. Had she got the care and the help she needed, she might have been able to have her assets. She might still be here, and I certainly would have been able to deal with the same dynamic from these people that they unleashed on her. They did the same thing to me. You're not supposed to own your assets. You're not supposed to move forward with your life. You're not supposed to live your life at all. Be safe out there, guys.